Hey athletes, we're in the kitchen again. We're talking about eating for your goal, eating for your result. So, performance, okay? If your goal, so performance-wise, if it has nothing to do with how much you weigh, yeah, putting on a couple extra pounds and maybe even a little body fat might not be so bad, okay? If you're any typical sport such as like a football player, a basketball player, volleyball, CrossFit, anything like that, they don't go by weight classes, okay? Because you don't have a weight class, you can be a couple extra pounds. Now, having a couple extra pounds, your body is going to be, your testosterone, if you're a male, is going to be up. Your performance as a female is going to be up. Yeah, again, your body fat might be up a little bit, but that's not necessarily a problem, right? If your goal is performance, it doesn't really matter what you look like, right? Just so long as you're running the fastest you can at that weight, because football players do need to be a little bit bigger. Maybe a volleyball player doesn't need to just have massive amounts of body fat or massive amounts of muscle, because again, we're trying to maybe be able to dive quick enough, being able to still be able to react. You need to be able to support your training ability, how high you can jump, whatever, okay? Those sports, if your goal is performance, yeah, again, eating without a plan might not be so bad. Now, if you're trying to go a little faster, my joke is always your best coach is the kitchen, or a dietitian is your best coach. And the reason I say that is because let's say you run a certain speed. But if I were to have you lose 2 extra pounds or 3 or whatever, you could actually go faster, okay? If you're not taking hits on the field or anything like that, and let's say you're a baseball player, that might be awesome for you. Lose 3 pounds and you can go X amount faster. Boom, that's gonna help your performance, okay? So you may need to track it in that case. Now, if your goal is performance and you have a weight class that you're trying to stay in, or you want to look as good as you can while performing as well as you can, then you need to really consider how much are you eating, okay? So, if again, you have to be 150 pounds the day of your competition, you need to weigh 150 pounds. If you naturally are 155 pounds or 160 pounds, yeah, making yourself gain 10 more pounds, that only means you're going to have to lose that much more weight when it comes time for competition. And the more weight you have to lose, the more likely you're going to be to lose your performance, okay? So, I always recommend to people, if you hover really close to your weight class, again, let's use me as an example. My weight class is about 169 pounds, about 77 kilos. I hover anywhere between 165 and 175 depending upon where I am in my programming. So, if I'm in, let's say, a gaining phase, we call it hypertrophy block. If I'm in a gaining phase, I am going to eat maybe a few extra 100 calories a day. First of all, when I'm trying to gain weight, I'm going to be doing more total work. So I need to be able to support that. Then on top of that, if I'm trying to gain muscle or gain weight, I need to eat a little bit more. Now, I'm not talking 1,000 extra calories, okay? Let's say for me to maintain my weight, it's 2,800 calories, okay? I might bump it to 3,500 at the most, okay? I'm usually going to be about 3,300, about a 500 calorie increase, because adding a couple extra repetitions to every day, I'm going to burn maybe an extra 100 calories, maybe 2 if I'm really going after it. I mean, I could triple my volume and it's not going to make me burn an extra 1,000 calories, and nor will you doing an extra 100 burpees a day or doing an extra workout a day. You're not going to be burning that many more calories that you can justify adding an extra 1,000, unless again you're like a marathon runner or you're adding an extreme amount of work, okay? Most likely if it's 20 minutes at a time or an extra even 30, you're not going to be burning that many more calories. So again, for me, I add about 500 to 700 so I can do the work that's required of me and my body's still in an anabolic type fashion where I'm gaining, okay? Allowing my body to gain a little bit, whether it's body fat or muscle, will first of all help reset my hormones, because I know that eventually when it comes to competition time, I have to limit my calories a little bit where I'm just getting enough that I can stay 170 pounds so that competition day I'm, as good as I possibly can be. So again, I have to allow myself to gain a little bit of weight. Same with bodybuilders, same with anything like that. Then maybe in a strength phase, I might keep my calories the same, because there's at some point I might gain enough muscle or whatever. At some point, I'm not going to keep gaining weight. 3,200, 3,500 calories is only going to make me gain so much weight. Maybe it'll bring me to 175 pounds. But unless I bump my calories again, most likely my weight's not going to get too far away from me. Then as my peaking phase or my competition phase comes, I can lower my calories a little bit, and because I allowed myself to gain a little bit of muscle, my body will allow me to lose a little bit of weight, and most likely it's going to be body fat. Then I can just keep hovering so that every single time that I try to limit my calories, I'm going to have as much muscle left over as possible. Same deal goes if you're a bodybuilder. So you're not necessarily training for absolute performance. You're not training to perform a certain amount in a weight class, or again, your primary goal right now isn't to look as good as you can while performing as good as you can. Your goal is just to drop 30 pounds. 30 pounds of body fat, okay? So, if you want to look exactly how you do right now, but just smaller, your arms are just a little smaller, maybe your waist is just a little bit smaller, but there's no more muscle definition to you than you currently have, great, by all means, drop 30 pounds, okay? Because if you just have a goal of just losing weight, it can all be done with your diet. Now, if your goal, again, is just to lose weight, you are going to look exactly the same you do right now. Your body fat percentage really isn't going to change a whole lot. I mean, it will. At 30 pounds, you're certainly going to drop some body fat. But when we talk body fat percentage, we're talking how much lean mass, muscle, bone density, things like that you have compared to how much body fat you have. And we see how much body fat you have over your total body weight. So let's say you weigh 200 pounds. Your body fat is 40%. You lose 30 pounds, your body fat could still be really close to that 40%, okay? Because again, just because you lose weight doesn't mean it just miraculously comes from body fat. If you're cutting your calories enough for you to lose 30 pounds, you're gonna lose some muscle, you're gonna lose some bone density, you're gonna lose some water too, okay? So, Josh, how do I lose body fat and still look lean when I'm done? Because my goal is actually I wanna look lean, not just lose 30 pounds. Well, I want you to think about what that means, looking lean. It means that you have muscle definition and less body fat, okay? So, you almost have to train and eat in a way like you are in a weight class, and that you're training for that weight class. Now, I'm not saying, you need to be really precise and, be within 5 pounds. No, but if your goal, again, is to end up being 170 pounds or 150 pounds, yes, eventually you are going to need to eat like a 150-pound athlete. So let's say you're 200 pounds. Most likely you're eating to be 200 pounds. You're eating 3,500 calories or more every day on average. Now, you might jump at me and say, no, Josh, I eat clean. I eat, really well. But if you can't tell me if you had 7 potatoes or 407 potatoes because you don't really know, you just kind of scoop onto your plate, you very well could be eating 800 extra calories every single day. Now, if you eat an extra 800 calories every day for a week, yeah, we're talking 1.5 pounds a week you're going to gain. And then eventually it's going to level out. Well, maybe for you it levels out at 200 pounds, okay? But you're eating sweet potatoes, brown rice. You have no processed sugar, processed grain in your life. You're getting good proteins and good dietary fats, and you're doing the right thing. You just might be eating too much. Now, rather than just saying, oh, screw it, I'm just going to cut 1,000 calories so that I can get there, your body will respond, okay? You will lose some weight, but again, you might lose 10 pounds. But where is that weight coming from? Is that weight coming from body fat, muscle, bones? Most likely it's coming from your muscle and your bone density, okay? Your body fat is there for survival, okay? So, rather than trying to get 30 pounds lost right now, let's lose it slowly, okay? And let's lose it kind of in that ripple type fashion. So maybe we do drop 10 pounds. Let's say we cut our calories, 500 calories a day. We drop 10 pounds. Great, now you're 190 pounds. But again, because you dropped 10 pounds maybe in 4 or 5 or 6 weeks, your body, yeah, it's probably let go of some water, but it let go of a lot of muscle too. So we need to rebuild some of that muscle. So you drop 500 calories to come down here. So instead of 3,500 calories a day, you eat 3,000 calories a day. So that allowed you to maintain 190 pounds. If we add just a little bit back to it, that's going to allow us to have a little bit more energy so that we can really pound some weights and pound some intensity, okay? Great. Now we possibly went back up to 193 pounds, but you allowed your body to resensitize itself to losing weight. You gained a little bit of muscle. You're telling your body, hey, having this muscle is important, okay? You're doing a little bit more strength training. Okay, so you're 193 pounds. Now it's time. Okay, if I bring back to 3,000, let's go to 2,800 calories. So again, you went down 500. Maybe you drop all the way down to 180 pounds. But again, once you get there, hey, I need to make sure that I'm gaining my muscle back. So you're 180 pounds. You add in a little bit of food. So for a few weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, you come back up to 183, 184 pounds. Great, again, you gain some muscle. You resensitize your body to be able to lose weight, and then you drop it again. We want to stair step it. That way, when you get to your ultimate goal of, let's say, 150 pounds, first of all, you can maintain it, okay? Because I'd hate for you to go from 200 to 150, boom, drop it, because guess what? You're going to shoot right back up, and you're going to go beyond wherever you started from, okay? So again, if we do it nice, gradual, and slow, once we get there, first of all, we're going to have a little bit more muscle, which is going to help us maintain that weight loss. We are going to look leaner, okay? Because we're going to have been dropping weight along this whole time, and we kept muscle. We kept building that muscle because we made it a priority. Then when we're at 150 pounds, or whatever your goal ends up being, then you can make choices of, okay, so now I want to maintain this weight, but now I want to still lose body fat. I'm still not 100% satisfied with how I look. Now imagine you're a 150 pound weight class type athlete where you're going to go through a little bit of gaining of muscle and dropping of body fat, gaining of muscle, dropping of body fat. Maybe you hover from 145 to 155 pounds, and again, you might go 6-8 weeks to gain that 5 pounds, and then 6-8 weeks to drop that 10 pounds back to 145, and slowly going, and then you can make those ripples a little bit smaller. Maybe you're only going up to 153 and 147 until you eventually get to where you're satisfied. Then from there, you can make the decision. Maybe I need to gain some more muscle. Maybe I'm okay with being 155, or hey, maybe I do want to be 145 pounds. Okay, now you have the metabolism to set yourself up for success. But if you tell me, Josh, I eat clean and I'm not losing weight, and I don't eat junk food or anything like that, again, you might be eating too much for your goal, okay? Because again, if you're not tracking it at all, you're eating to have optimal performance, to feel your best, to do things like that. But again, if your goal is to look a certain way, we need to make sure you're eating a certain way.